Victor?
Now we're moving on. I'm trying to get the right bench, right location. We're gonna do seated dumbbell alternate curls. As you can see, we're gonna really make this interesting. We're gonna start with alternate curls, then we're gonna crank it up to double curls. Really get that pain in the arms, and you're gonna see them. You think they blew up already like balloons. You haven't seen nothing yet, guys.
Impressive there, buddy.
Yeah. Now, I always, whenever you read, mass building exercises for biceps, you think barbell curls, you think seated dumbbell curls. Which are better, and is it a good idea to do both in the same workout? I was always under the impression, at least my workouts that I always did one or the other. I never did both. This is a pretty intense bicep workout you guys are doing. Who'd like to answer that? Kai?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch
you weren't listening to me? Okay.
No, I was listening.
I know.
I was listening.
Victor.
Yeah, well, like I said before, it's a staple, on the barbell curls. It hits pretty much the medial head of the bicep. And the reason we are, adding dumbbell curls is, you get that extra twist, You get that twist, and the more you twist, the more peak contraction you get. And I just want to hit the most as I can of that, that part of the bicep, and, totally annihilate it. Next time we might not, do both exercises again, but this is the day that we want total annihilation, regardless of it feeling the same or seeming the same, so there's no one way to train. So
I very well said, and I may not be a comic book drawer, but I have a little kinesiology background, and just for everyone's information out there, the bicep muscle, not only does it lift the arm upward and contract it, it actually also pronates the wrist. It actually supinates the wrist, opens the wrist. So it does have two motions. So by doing a movement like this where you can turn your wrist, you're fully maximizing the contraction of the bicep.
Absolutely. And too, one of the interesting things about the bicep is that, for the life of me, there was a long time when I called myself training arms and being aware of my biceps, and didn't really stop to realize that, there was, more than just my bicep going on. There's actually, three heads and actually another muscle in there. Your brachialis anticus. That it originates at the
you got
portion of your brachium and runs over to your ulna and fastens on the inside of the ulna between the radius and the ulna, and also over on the side closest to your trunk. It's very interesting because when I look at my bicep peaks, when I look at my bicep shot, a lot of times what I notice is on one arm, one is significantly developed more than the other, and I think I found out that the actual muscle that is more developed, particularly when it comes to my bicep, was that brachialis anticus that is underneath your bicep.
Well, let me, since I'm the expert in that area, you got the two heads of your bicep there, just so we don't confuse our listeners, and then underneath the two heads of the bicep, you have the brachialis muscle, it's called. And it doesn't, the bicep muscle crosses from the upper arm to the lower arm, whereas the brachialis, doesn't. It's a shorter, it does, but it's a shorter range. But you're right, you do need to stimulate both those muscles, and that's what the beauty of like a hammer curl is. The hammer curl really brings the brachialis muscle into play.
When I do this movement, I feel so much more aware again, even though I'm supposed to be training my bicep. You see, look there, I see the absence, or the difference in development between the two, largely because of that muscle. So again, it's funny because there are people that see you and watching your career and watching you in the present and think, hey, that's awesome, you're an awesome specimen, just the way you are, but again, as you looking at yourself and assessing yourself through the eye of an artist, you're actually picking up these weak points, realizing what they are, finding them, and you sometimes can only see just them, even in the face of all the other things that are stellar and awesome about your physique that stand to your credit. There's these things too that are small but very significant.
I agree. Now, Victor, let me ask this question from the eye of an artist. Do you feel that you have now, because everyone's always saying that bodybuilders never think they're big. Do you think your arms are big enough, or do you think they need to be bigger from an artistic standpoint, symmetrically speaking?
No, symmetrically speaking, I think they're big enough, but at this point, it's like you're not even thinking that. You're still thinking about stimulating and just keep pushing that muscle, just because you say, oh, my legs are big, so therefore I'm going to just pull back from my leg training, and it's just, it wouldn't be bodybuilding, I mean, from day one, it's training every single body part, and putting each effort, the same effort to each body part, not ignoring one or the other. And the ones that do choose to ignore one over the other, those are the ones that tend to be unbalanced. So at this point, yeah, my arms are big enough, but as far as the effort, it hasn't changed.